You see, waiting is good for us. That is, if we let it be good and don't turn it into frustration. Happy Advent, everybody. This is Mike from Catholic Treehouse, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 53 of the Saint in Progress podcast, your source for inspiration, information, and directions for your soul's journey back home to the Father's house. I would like to go ahead and first off just hope that you all had a nice Thanksgiving. It was all really good for us, though we did have to remind ourselves not to go shopping this past Sunday. So how do you all do with that? It was a little bit difficult. We had to reorganize a little bit of our Saturday and a little bit of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but I think that was kind of the point. And it was nice having just a day at home with the family. We did have one little hiccup, though, our espresso machine. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to call myself a coffee snob. I mean, you're not going to catch me talking about mouthfeel or this kind of bean versus that kind of bean or this roast versus that roast or whatever. I mean, my wife and I, we like what we like. And once we figured it out and kind of dialed everything in, well, that's that. And me being rather frugal, we spend the least amount of money possible to achieve the simple joy of our morning routine, which involves three, well, I don't know what the heck you call them. I mean, every time I go to a coffee shop, there's a different name. Like, first it was simply just a cappuccino, but then at some point a cappuccino became a shot of espresso and about 5 gallons of hot milk. Ugh. So we drink, well, some places call them cortados, other places a flat white, other places a dry cappuccino. I don't know. I'll just explain it. It's a shot of espresso and about equal amount of milk and foam, like a 50-50 mix of milk and foam. We have an equal amount of that with the espresso. So like I said, we just like what we like. And we start the day with 3 of these, not 1, 2, 3. They're spaced out a little bit as we get ready for the day. But normally we just have these 3, and then I'll have a double shot of espresso mid-afternoon because, well, I'm an addict. Anyway, last year we bought a new espresso machine as an anniversary gift to ourselves. It's our 4th espresso machine in 24 years of marriage, so that math kind of is pretty good. We did splurge a bit on this last one. We got one that should last us 10 to 15 years instead of 4 or 5. So I like that math even more. I mean, like when you amortize that out over the life of the machine, it's only costing us about like $30 a year to feed my coffee habit. And I mean, heck, you can't go to Wendy's with 2 parents and 2 teenagers and spend less than that these days. So anyways, back to the story. The last month or so, the espresso machine's been struggling to pull espresso shots. I mean, we flipped the switch and the pump would go, but the espresso would just slowly drip out and take forever. So over the break, nothing was happening. It had run, but nothing would come out. So it turns out we needed to get some cleaning solution to run through it. And from what I could find online, vinegar would damage the internal parts. So Saturday I ordered the manufacturer solution on Amazon and said it should be delivered Tuesday. And I'm like, are you serious? I have to wait until sometime Tuesday just to get it clean so I can have my espresso? And for some reason, rather than being delivered Tuesday, it didn't get delivered until Wednesday. And my wife and I mean, we were really missing our morning routine by that point. But while we're waiting, I also took the time to take apart a couple things on the machine and clean what I could. And I couldn't believe the buildup of crud inside the machine after a year. So anyways, the solution comes, I run it, and my gosh, that first shot was fantastic. It was like a brand new machine. So note to self, clean it more regularly. And the whole experience had me thinking about Advent. Yes, really, the espresso machine, the cleaning solution, somehow I ended up at Advent. I am Mr. Analogy. Hear me out about this. This season is a season of waiting for anticipation for the coming of the Lord and to try to reflect on what it was like for the Israelites waiting for the Messiah to come. So, yes, I'm going to talk about that, but I'm not going to get too much into the Israelite side of things. I'm going to talk about how we need to approach the concept of waiting and how we need to get our mindset right about it. And not just for Advent, although that is part of it, but more for our general concept of waiting individually as part of society. You see, we've become increasingly impatient. We drive through to get our food because we don't want to take the extra few minutes to go inside to place our order. We eat in our cars because we don't want to wait to get home. We automate our groceries so that either they're delivered to our door or all we have to do is drive up and they bring our order out to the car because we don't want to wait to go in the store and actually, put things in our carts and wait in line and get checked out and stuff. In traffic, we see all sorts of people running stop signs and red lights and cutting other people off, all because they don't want to wait. We no longer feed our brains by reading books about things that we're interested in. Instead, we take 5-second sips from infographics that show up while we're doom scrolling, and now we think we're educated on a topic. We don't want to wait to research and discuss issues and weigh different facts and methods and evolve our understanding on a topic over the course of weeks or months or years. Instead, we get bullet pointed lists from ChatGPT and make up our minds in less time than it takes for me to drink my afternoon double espresso. And when it comes to our interior life, we don't want to pray and think and ponder and quietly discern all of the issues in our interior life. No. Instead, when we want to figure out things about ourselves, maybe we look online to find a 10-question online quiz, because 15 questions is too long, of course. And then we take our self-assessment, which took all of about 2 minutes, share it on social media, and chart the course of our lives based on something that some random person on the internet put together. And that, my fellow saints in progress, is a huge problem. You see, all this impatience, all this rushing to here and to there and to conclusions and to hot takes, it is dehumanizing us all. The Protestant work ethic I talked about last episode, the constant drive for productivity and efficiency and produce and consume, we've become the annoying bratty kid throwing a tantrum in the store going, I want it now. Kind of like, I wanted my espresso now. Then I got frustrated and impatient that the cleaner was taking so long to get to my house. I was so used to Amazon delivering things super fast that I couldn't believe it would take 4 whole days to get me my cleaning solution because I want my espresso my way for my machine. All that frustration and general grumpiness because we have no patience and we don't want to embrace waiting. But God, like the loving Father He is, doesn't want us to have everything now. He wants us to wait. Whether it's waiting for the next step of His plan for our lives to be revealed to us, or it's waiting for a period of struggles to be over, or it's waiting for the Lord to come, or even if it's just waiting for that espresso just the way you like it. You see, waiting is good for us. That is, if we let it be good and don't turn it into frustration. Waiting gives us time to reflect, to pause, to evaluate, to gaze inward, to understand ourselves better, and understand God better. But the thing is, we don't like these things because they make us uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to dig deep when we self-assess. It's uncomfortable to know God better because it causes us to see how much we have failed Him in our lives. It's uncomfortable waiting in the silence because we are, at the end of the day, uncomfortable with ourselves and the decisions we make. It's like when there's a line for confession, right? You're standing there, 6 people in front of you, and no one is talking to each other because everyone is doing the same thing, waiting with the thoughts of their own brokenness on their minds, re-examining their conscience, rehearsing what they're going to say, trying to remember everything because you want to be unburdened by the weight of your failures, knowing of your own sinfulness, your own brokenness, your own faults, your own failings in the sight of God. It can be suffocating waiting in that line, can it? And during Advent, the church makes us wait. We sing Advent songs, not Christmas songs. The Old Testament readings are all about waiting and anticipation for the coming of the Messiah. If your parish offers them, on Saturday mornings there are rorate masses. which are an old tradition. They're celebrated by candlelight before sunup, and they finish just as the sun is rising to remind us that we need to wait for the coming of the light, that we are people in darkness awaiting the light of Jesus Christ. And just like when it's your turn to go into the confessional, after all the anticipation, when the waiting is over, before there's that sense of joy, there's a sense of relief, right? The burden is lifted, and that's a relief. The darkness, the crud, the caked on buildup, the self-examination, the quiet contemplation about God and His goodness, and ourselves and our brokenness. If you've embraced all that, rather than get frustrated and impatient and raged against the fact that you have to wait, when God does, according to His plan and timeline, deliver what you've been waiting so long for, there will be relief. And then there will be joy. But if, and only if, you embrace the waiting, no matter how long it is. Now, speaking of confession, how long has it been since you've been to confession? Do you have a rhythm like once a month or once every 2 weeks or similar? Has it been a while? A year? Couple years? Couple decades? Well, let me give you a little nudge to go before Christmas this year. Maybe get into a rhythm. But start with that one confession right now. Even if it's been a long time. And especially if it's been a long time. Because you know what? God is waiting for you in the confessional. Jesus Christ, with an ocean of mercy, is waiting for you in the confessional. He has been anticipating your coming to Him much more than you're anticipating Christmas. And when you come to Him in the confessional, I promise you there will be relief when you unburden yourself. And there'll be joy because you're no longer carrying around what's been weighting you down. There's also joy because God will be joyful because you've come home to Him. Okay, that's it for this week, my friends and my fellow saints in progress. If you like the show, please share it with a friend and support our work by becoming a paid subscriber on Substack at catholictreehouse.substack.com or buying a book or rosary at catholictreehouse.com. As always, love God and neighbor, stay in a state of sanctifying grace, pray your rosary, and be sure to pray for the conversion of hearts of all those who have fallen away from the faith. Most of all, remember, you are a saint in progress. So go out there and be a saint.